Okay, everyone, I suggest we begin. We're missing one person, but he will join us later probably. Who knows? Mysteries all around. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please stop looking at your phones. The whole girls, please stop chatting with hot ladies near your region. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speaking of hot, today is a hot day. It's an awfully hot day. So thank you for joining us here where there is cool air inside this room, where we can probably spend the next 1 or 2 hours talking a bit. But before we go into that portion of the meeting, I would like to say a few words about Toastmasters for the new people that are here. Toastmasters is an educational international organization with a main purpose of helping its fellow members, to develop public speaking skills and leadership skills. As I said, it's an international organization. There are around 15,000 clubs worldwide, with over 300,000 members worldwide. It has a long history. It was founded in the 20s in America, California, I believe. So it is a very wide net of people, and that's the best thing about it. You can develop yourself, your public speaking and your leadership skills in a friendly environment where you get to meet new people and you get to exchange interesting and new ideas. And how we do that is via our educational platform. It's called Pathways. And the cool thing about it is that it helps you specify your goals and work towards achieving them when it comes to public speaking, developing yourself, organizational skills, and so on. It does that by giving you a couple of directions for you to go, to develop. And if you're not sure about your goals, you can kind of do a quick quiz that it helps you guide you towards what you want to achieve or what will be useful for you and your, let's say, professional interests. It helps you develop a lot of, let's say, not quirks, but special kinds of, what's the word I'm looking for? Specialties. Let's just call them specialties or skill sets when it comes to presenting, communicating with people, organizing events, and so on. And of course, if you want more information about Toastmasters, the whole of the organization and so on, you can always check us out online. And with that being said, again, thank you for joining us. And say, to welcome you once more, and to welcome the Toastmaster of the evening for tonight, who will lead us through the agenda. And then but before that, I would like to declare the meeting open.
Hello everyone. In addition to what he said, welcome to Bizlabs Toastmasters Club, which is club in Plovdiv. And before we begin the meeting, please turn the sound of your phones and we'll be here. So you could look at me and the screen at the same time. Can you give me one agenda, please? Okay, we are also filming what is happening here, so if someone doesn't want to participate, just let us know. Okay, so what you have in front of you is the agenda. Simeon already told you what Toastmaster is about, that we have a big network of clubs all around the world. So I'm not going into details about that. And this is our agenda, what you have in front of you and what you have on the screen. What is going to happen tonight is that I'm going to be your Toastmaster of the evening. That means that I will host the meeting and I will lead you through the organization of the whole meeting. We will begin with 2 prepared speeches, then the speakers will receive 2 speech evaluations, then we'll have 5 minutes break. After that will come the most fun part of the meeting, which is called table topics. You will see what I'm talking about when it comes. And after that, we'll receive the reports of the evaluation team. I'm not going to say anything about the evaluation team. It would be a surprise. Okay, so as you can see, that's the agenda in front of you. And before we begin with the prepared speeches, I would like to share the word of the day and the idiom of the day with you. But because that's the role of the grammarian, because we have a guy who is called the grammarian of the evening, and he evaluates our grammatical mistakes, and he presents us with the words and the idiom of the day, so we can incorporate something new in our language. I would like to invite the grammarian for tonight's meeting, who is Simeon, so he can present us the word and the idiom of the day.
Should I join you here? Great.
Yes.
Great. So, as you can see, I have chosen an amazing word. It's called meander. Well, it's pronounced meander, it's not called meander. And you can use it as a verb and as a noun. As a verb, it means of a river or road, or following a winding course. So when you talk about a river or road that's snake-like, you can call it, you can say that it has a meander-like structure. To wander at random, that's the second meaning of meander. And when we talk about language or thought or ideas, it means that the person proceeds aimlessly or with little purpose. So when you deliver, let's say, something, your idea, and you try to get it through someone, and you tend to talk about different stuff, not get the main goal of your idea, you meander, your thought meanders. And as a noun, it is a winding curve or bed of a river or a road, and an indirect or aimless journey. So that's the word, and the idiom is to search high and low for something or someone. That is, of course, to look carefully in every possible place for something or someone. And the example is, we searched high and low, but we could not find the missing parties. And this is, of course, one of my duties tonight, to listen to you use both word and idiom of the day when you deliver your speech or speak in front of the audience. The second thing is, as a grammarian, of course, keep track of your grammatical mistakes, and I will keep track of them. So please do not let your thoughts meander wildly, because I will listen to you very carefully, and at the end, I will give you a quick recap of how we did with the grammar tonight. So, thank you.
Not to make our meeting meander, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed with the prepared speeches. Because our club, one part of our club is connected to public speaking and how to improve it. And this is why we use pathways, as Simeon already mentioned, but I will tell you more about it. The first prepared speech for tonight will be presented by Angelo, and it is called What is True Networking? Currently, he is working on the path called Effective Coaching, which will help him understand and build consensus, establish strong public speaking skills, and contribute to the development of others by coaching. So that this is what he's going to improve following this path. The objective of his tonight's speech is to present a speech on any topic, to receive feedback, and to apply the feedback to his next speech. And with that being said, I would like to invite Angel so we can hear what is true networking.
Good evening, everyone. What is true networking? Imagine a guy who comes to you and says, "Oh man, I met this guy today, and he's like the perfect candidate. He has so many languages, he's done so different types of works, and he's currently in a great position in this wonderful company. I want to go there myself." Another guy says, "Yeah, but if you call him right now, will he really recommend you for that company? Will he even remember who you are?" Yeah, you got a point. I mean, I did talk to him like 5 minutes or something. I gave him my card, but I'm not sure he'll really recommend me. So if you're in the same position, you're suffering a lot, like many other people, who think that networking is just getting to know someone, giving them your card, or exchanging some information over the social media. But is that really networking? And how is that networking different than just making acquaintances or seldom get to know? So this is what I wanted to answer for myself and understand, how can I really make my network true networking? So that I don't have too many connections which are basically dead, but I have some which are really working and I can count on them. I've listened to different points of view, and to be honest, I really like one guy who is actually very famous for speaking on the topic of networking, and he's called Michael Goldsmith. You can look him up. He's a really interesting guy. Very funny too. Basically, what he said about networking is what I really liked the most. He said that networking is based not on just meeting people and exchanging information with them, but also creating a relationship. Of course, it's not like a deep friendship or something like that, but in order to understand how you should do when networking with someone new, you must keep the focus on one simple thing. After your communication, both of you need to understand what they can benefit from each other. So basically, the networking, the true networking that I accepted for myself as well, means that when you connect with someone, you can introduce yourself, who you are, what makes you unique, what are your skills that actually can be beneficial to the other person, and vice versa. Meaning that after this networking, they will remember you. This is the guy who can do computers. That's the guy who is very funny. He can talk for hours, everybody listens to him. Or something like this. I mean, it's something that will be kept in the mind of the other person, and he knows that he can benefit from it. Okay, so now we've defined what real networking is. But just to be better at it, I was thinking that, well, of course there are different types of networking, naturally. But to avoid going into too many and complex details, I basically like to present the two main types of networking that Michael Goldsmith is talking about, and I really think and like the way that he discerns them. So the first one, to get it clear, I will also introduce a new term. Maybe a lot of you know it, but just in case our grammarian doesn't know it, I'll teach him a new word. It's serendipity. Serendipity, except for being a word that's hard to pronounce, is something very nice, and it means that something good, something positive is happening without you expecting it or aiming for it. So basically, serendipity is the one type of networking that people tend to do, and I really like that one. Meaning that for some reason you're going somewhere, but you meet a person, you start talking to them, all of a sudden you understand that you can benefit from each other. There's the good vibe, but there's a lot of similarities, and you just feel it. So this is the serendipitous networking. It happens naturally and rarely, of course, but it's really good. The other type of networking, and of course the one which is most widespread, is the strategic networking. It's also a very important and a good way to do networking, but it's a little bit more boring for me. In any case, the strategic networking is when you know what you want, when you know what you can get, and when you know where to get it, from whom to get it, and how to ask for it. So basically you research what you want to achieve, you find a place in the people where you can get that. If you want, for instance, some law services in English, if you just go network around Plovdiv to all of the law guys, you will probably find that most of them don't know English. So actually you want to go to a convention or some place where it's about those type of people, but it's for international work. Basically, you'll find a lot of people doing law speaking English there. So this is the strategic networking. As I mentioned, both are very good, both are very useful, but they all share the same goal. And this is the goal that I want you to remember, that in order for networking to be true, it needs to have beneficial result for both parties, which will build a true relationship. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us what true networking is. And now you have sheets of paper in front of you. What you can do with them is to write, if you want, a feedback to Angel. Whatever you can think of. If you think that you can improve something, or if you really like something about his speech that he can repeat during his next speech, you have 1 minute to do that. Okay. If we're all ready, we can continue with our next prepared speech, which will be presented by Georgi Chevin. Currently, he's working on a path called Motivational Strategies. After concluding it, he will become a powerful and effective communicator. He will learn how to build connections with people around him, and he will learn how to successfully lead a small group of people. The objective of his tonight's speech is to learn how to give, receive, and apply feedback. And his speech is called Not All the Air We Breathe is Bad. Not All the Air We Breathe is Bad by Georgi Chevin.
Dear friends and guests, it's a pleasure for me to stand in front of you. I would like to ask you a question. How do you think, just briefly, without searching high and low, how much time in percentage do we spend indoors to the time we spend outdoors? Just briefly, without searching high and low.
70 indoors, 30 outdoors.
70 indoors, 30 outdoors.
90 outdoors, indoors.
Alright, it depends to person in person, but in generally I would say that between 50 and 70% a modern man who's living in a city and works in a building spends indoor. So not all who wander are lost. Right. Now let's think about how much time where do we spend our time when we are indoors? Let's say at night, a regular man or a woman, where do we spend the time?
In bed.
At home. Yes, in bed. And through the day, work. At work. Alright, so we can say that a lot of the time that we spend during the day is spent in a closed environment. But do we really know about the quality of the air that we breathe? Because we do this unconsciously, and we should really know what's behind it. So, what's the effect of having mechanical particles in the air, let's say dust, bacteria, odor? Do you think there is some effect on people?
Yes.
Right. But we often don't feel it because we just breathe unconsciously. So we might have some pleasant or unpleasant feeling in the beginning, or let's say 5 or 10 minutes, but soon enough the human organism is being adjusted very well to this. Right, but this is the first part of air quality, if we can name it. This is the cleaning of mechanical particles. So we have to be very careful because all these odors, dust, they meander around certain holes, whether it's beneath your door or through the air conditioning, so we should have good filters. How do I know this? Because I'm selling automation for air filtering. Okay? And so then we come to a little bit more interesting part. How do you think, what other factors do influence the air that we breathe indoors?
Oxygen level.
Alright, this is great oxygen level. So what will happen if there is not enough oxygen in the room?
You'll be tired.
Alright, we'll be tired. So what can we do to increase the oxygen level?
Get some fresh air from outside.
Alright.
Or buy one of your filters.
Right. So obviously, you can, if you're a company or a business, you can easily buy. Well, not easily, but you could probably buy a filter. But if you're at home, the chances that you might not have enough time or money to spend on filtering, so you just open the window if the air outside is okay, for example. If not, obviously you have to buy a filter or move somewhere else. So what do we guess? Can we guess what other feature there is that affects the air indoors?
Temperature.
Great. Once again, obviously you've been listening last time. So let me ask, what's the effect of high temperature and low temperature? Do we know?
Heat causes molecules to scatter while
On the human, let's say on the human. What's the effect of high temperature?
You start to sweat.
Yeah, you feel tired, you're not very. If it's too cold,
feel distracted. Feel bad.
yeah, you can't sleep. It's okay if it's a little bit cold, but if it's too cold, you cannot sleep and you cannot work. Alright, the third one. Do we know the third one? Any lucky guesses? Humidity. Okay, not all those who wander are lost. So if the humidity is over, let's say 60 or 70%, it's unbearable for a human to stay, though we have such environments in Asia and near seas. Below 30% is also not very healthy for men. So it's looking high and low to get to a different environment. Now let's wrap it all up and see what a man can do to, let's say, have a better air quality. Alright, so you might fall victim to a lot of websites. Now it's very common to have information online, content and everything, but all this is like copy-pasted. So do not worry, do not meander. Go to the official information sources, which are, for example, the European Commission, the European Ventilation Association, and the American Air Quality Association, or US Environmental Protection Agency, aka EPA, right? And so now you know what to do. Wish you all good luck, and think again if all there you brief is good, and if there is a way that you can make your air and your life better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your informative speech as always, and I liked it that you made it, you involved the audience this time. And now you have 1 minute to give him feedback if you want to. If you want to. Again, I will remind you that giving him feedback can be about what he can improve about his speech, or what he does good and you think he should continue doing during his next speeches. Okay, I think we're all ready now. Do you feel tired?
It is a bit hot.
Really?
No.
Would you like to continue with the meeting, or would you prefer a 5-minute break?
Let's have it after the evaluation.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, good. So every speaker in our club, in order to improve himself or herself, receives a proper evaluation. And tonight, the evaluation team, I haven't included. But as you can see on the agenda here, you see that the first evaluation will be done by Simeon, and it would be for annual speech. So with that being said, I would like to invite Simeon so he can give us his feedback.
Thank you. I would not prefer to do it here because I have notes and I would like somewhere to put them. And I'm closer to Angelo who just run away. Which makes me feel really
I'm
sad.
adjusting your video, Mr. President.
Thank you, yes. Give
People
me my
stop
give
liking
me my
the channel
close-up.
unless they see you.
Give me my close-up. Okay. I really did enjoy your speech. It was a great speech. The opening was very good. I like the way you decided to do it, like a dialogue between two people. And a really good idea. I enjoyed it, but for me it was a bit too fast, to be honest. And when you make a dialogue by yourself, when you try to imitate two people, you need to have clear beginning an ending of one person speaking and clear beginning and ending of the other, because it kind of mashes up. But I did like the idea, and I did like almost all of the execution of the idea. That being said, the opening was great. It clarified the purpose of your speech, and it helped us understand what the speech was going to be about. So it was a great opening. Your gestures during all of the speech were great, very calm, relaxed. When it comes to eye contact, you were glad to get everybody in the room without paying too much attention to them, which is good. You scoped out the entire room, all of the audience. It is a topic which is useful for everybody, because networking, especially nowadays, is really important. I hate the word in Bulgarian, it sounds stupid to call it networking when you talk about Bulgarian, but it is a useful topic. You seem very relaxed, very comfortable. When talking about body language, again, relaxed, comfortable, except at times you were stepping a bit too much from left to right and kind of doing this swinging motion. You were almost like dancing.
I might have been.
You might have been. It is great. You grab the attention of people, but some, yes, that's the idea. But some may interpret it as, being a bit shy or feeling discomfort. But when it comes to using your hands to explain, to help us visualize things, that was really good, on point. The delivery was exemplary, and I think that we felt engaged because you were talking to each individual throughout the entire speech. And I think that's all of it. I really want to congratulate you on the vocal variety, because at past speeches I got to evaluate some of them as well, and that was my main problem with them, let's say. Because again, you have a really relaxed voice, but at times it gets a bit too monotonous. But tonight I think it was on point. Everything about your vocal variety was great. So, fantastic speech. Thank you, and I can't wait to finish the next one.
Thank you for your evaluation. And now, without further explanation, I would like to invite the evaluator for Georgi Cherny's speech, Ms. Mark.
Can we just get a round of applause for Angel and Georgi on their speeches today? I really enjoyed both speeches, but today I will focus on Georgi. Georgi, excellent job. I really liked your topic of choice. I think the air we breathe in is very important to our health. And I really enjoyed how you engaged the audience with your questions. I would like to bring 3 points up. And they all have to do with one thing I read just this last week, how the audience interprets only 10% of your message. So 3 things I would like you to focus on a little bit on your next speech. Not that you didn't complete it well, but I feel that you could do a bit better. The first thing is tonality. So it is really important to focus on tonality. Angel, let me tell you a secret. So when you choose these different, either high-pitched voice or low-pitched voice, it makes your audience more engaged and it helps them really focus on what you're saying. The second thing is your body language. It's something that Nicola did. You did a really good job with your hands. You're moving your hands, you ask questions. However, use the stage. Go for a walk. Have your audience shift their eyesight to you and make sure Angel is paying attention. Not that you weren't, Angel, great job. And then, last but not least, pauses. I think you did a really good job of that, actually. When you asked a question, you waited. This is something I can improve on, is pausing. Giving the opportunity for your audience to really comprehend what you're saying. However, when it came down to eye contact, asking the right questions, you did an excellent job. And I'd like to congratulate you on your speech, and I'm looking forward to hearing your next one.
Thank you for your amazing evaluation. is our newest member.
Thank you.
Great job doing your first roll.
Thank you.
And now let's have our 5-minute break if you want to, and then we'll continue with the most fun part of the meeting. Okay.
Da, može.